I think you learn better when you're teaching because you're repeating it over and over again, so it kind of sticks in your head. Because when you write a report, you write it once and you're never going to look at it again. When you're teaching it, you're telling people about it verbally.
Earth Day is a fantastic learning experience for our students because it really gives them the chance to take what they're learning, apply what they're learning, and to start to make a difference in their community. So our students learn to become teachers, and they learn to deepen what they're learning about in classes by applying those skills and by transferring that knowledge to be able to teach little kids.
Everyone for Earth Day does something different, you know, so it's like they'll be playing games while they're learning, and it's just, this isn't things that, like these topics aren't topics that are talked about at school, at most schools. So it's just like, and it's the same for us, like we get fed so much of this, like, oh, be sustainable, sustainability, whatever, you know, and it's like we finally get to share out. And we have all this energy, like, oh, we want to share about what's in your hot dog, and then it's like we finally, you know, get the opportunity to do it, and they get the opportunity to learn, and no one else is going to teach it to them. So
Earth Day is also a chance for our students to participate in a service for their community, and so we see our students change culturally over time because they learn how to give back to their community, they learn how to run an event, they learn how to generate awareness about environmental issues and how to go beyond the classroom to do that and to have a larger impact besides just their own peers.
Teaching somebody about it, they talk about it to someone else, and someone talks about it to someone else. It's like the circle, and it just keeps expanding so everyone knows about it, not just you.
We have a booth set up to teach kids about ecosystems and sustainability.
So our topic is mainly about conserving life for not us kids, but for more generations to pass on. And we're focusing on 3 topics: water conservation, fossil fuels, and the benefits of riding a bike.
We're saying how swag is bad and not sustainable. We're going to tell them that you do need clothes, but you don't need to buy all this extra stuff.
The first thing that we do when students come up to our booth is we ask them if they like hot dogs, right? So majority of the kids say, yeah, we love hot dogs. So from there I'd ask them, what's in a hot dog? Or what do you guys think it's in a hot dog? I'll listen to a few kids, like what they'll say, and then I'll tell them the list of ingredients or a few ingredients that are in there, and also some inedible things that were found in there, just to give them kind of a scope of what might be in there. Yeah, so like I'd tell them like, oh, there's some plastic in there, or sometimes they find glass. I'd save the thing about the fleas for the older children. So yeah, and then from there I'd tell them about what's in the casing. So I'd talk to them about a little bit about the animal intestines and how that's natural. So you know, it's pretty good. But then I tell them about like gelatin, which is man-made, which this surrounds that, which might not sit well. Then David goes ahead and explains to them what CAFOs are.
So normally, if they're like elementary school kids, we don't like telling them about stuff like this. But if it's more towards like middle school people, so once they get to like middle school, sort of around that age where they can handle more stuff, I'll explain to them what CAFOs are. So like CAFO stands for Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations, and that's where I bring this in. So it's basically like the complete opposite of a humane farm, where concentrated as in all these animals are put together in a small area, but it does take up a lot of land, which I have to go and explain later. And let me see. So this is just an example of how big they are. Let's see. Then here's another one with chickens. And a small CAFO can hold up to 200,000 chickens, and that's just a small one.
So after they get an idea of like what a CAFO is and just what's in their hot dog, I explain to them just like some of the other environmental problems that there are with like hot dogs and just meat in general. So I just tell them about how much land they take up and how much water is wasted on producing meat. And a big one is like things like fossil fuels. Like we use the fossil fuels to transport the meat from one place to another, and just how unsustainable it is overall. Like we could be using the 2,400 gallons of water for something else. We don't need it for just 1 pound of meat. Or how much of the rainforest has been cleared to make space for feeding the animals or for just the CAFOs themselves. Yeah, so then you guys see the activity. And then they do, after they learn about all of the things about the hot dogs and the resources they take up, then we do a little game with them.
So then we're in charge of doing kind of like a simulation of how animals are put into these cages. So in this one we ask them how many people they think can fit comfortably, they can still walk around in. It's usually about 3 or 4. And then
In this one, we asked them how many they actually think are, which is about 1,000 or so, depending on which one.
Yeah, so we try to get as many kids in there just to show that people just add more and more and more animals to the CAFOs and stuff like that, that they're more concerned about the quantity rather than how the animals are treated and the quality of the meat produced.
What do you think you can eat instead of hot dogs? So you can eat like fruits and vegetables. It's good for you. It's good for the environment. And
for the older kids, we talked to them about halal and kosher hot dogs. So kosher hot dogs are the ones that are like kind of pure beef, or that it's mostly, I wouldn't say natural, but they know where it's come from. There's not a lot of chemicals that are added to it. And then halal are the ones where I believe it's the animals are slaughtered humanely, that they stun them before they're killed or whatever. So that just shows, that, hey, some people kind of do care about the treatment of the animals. So, look for one that treats better if you really have to eat a hot dog, or if not, just, eat a vegetarian hot dog or something.